What's going on, traders? It's your boy Adrian, and I'm back with another video. And in this video, we're going to go over some trades that I took on the Fiverr's Bootcamp. I must say, it's not looking good. But first, before I go over this, do me a favor and smash the like button. Smash it. Just beep beep. Smash. And hit the subscribe button, only if you want to, of course, right? And leave your boy a comment down below. Let him know how he's doing. Just give him some feedback. Let him know like what's up, right? Let him know what's up. But yo, it's basically the end of the month, end of January, and I've been trading with the Fiverrs for about a month now. Started on the 1st of January, and I must admit, it started off great. You know, I was doing well. I was in the positive, and now I'm in the negative. To be perfectly honest with you. And I think this has been the worst performance that I've ever had in a long time. And let's dive into this thing, man. Let's see what's up. All right, so here we are on the Fiverr's account. This one is the 100K phase 1 account, which is the $25,000 account. As you can see, I started on the 1st of January. Started off great, was in the positive, and then just started to nosedive down. I'll show this actually more so on my FX book, because I actually prefer my FX book. I like to see the percentages, and we can see that on my FX book. This is the $250,000 phase 1 100K account. As you can see here, right off the bat, just had a bit of a rocky start, then kind of balanced out, and then just dropped, right? The red is my equity, where, you know, I floated up to essentially, but, you know, as you can see, again, started January 1st, 2023, and still rocking it, all right? So let's look at it on the My FX book. Here is the 100K count, down 2.42%. As I mentioned, started off decently, right? Was up 1.37%, and then just kind of tumbled all the way down, right, to 2.42%. Okay, not great performance, obviously. I'm a little bummed out about it, to be honest with you, because I was anticipating to be a little bit better off than where I'm at right now. The last week with trading was a bit rocky. The charts were kind of all over the place and not the most clearest. And I think I've made a lot of quick decisions. I should have sat on my hands a bit more, and I did not, and I paid for it. And here is the 250K phase 1 challenge account. I'm down 2.63%. As you can see, it just kind of sloped down a bit, and then I broke even, if you will, got back to 100K, and then it just dropped. My plan now going into this week, or this new month, because it's basically the end of January, the time of recording is January 29th. So going into the new month, I am going to really and truly focus on being very patient with my setups and only taking trades that are crystal clear, right? Because I'm only hurting myself in this, you know what I'm saying? I also have to keep in mind that I have a full year. I have a full year to complete this, and I really like that, right? So there's no pressure. I'm the only one really and truly that's putting pressure on myself, and I shouldn't be putting pressure because I have a full year, right? But let me actually go over just a handful of trades that I took. We'll go over some more learning lessons and some winning lessons on GJ and GU. All right, so here we are on GJ. Now, as we can see on GJ, it's been more or less consolidating in this area here, right? We've just been consolidating quite a bit, really. There's no clear direction in the market, right? And like for instance, if we look left, right, we can see, for instance, here, you know, we have clear direction, right? Clear direction, right? You got an impulse, correction, continuation. You can see an uptrend right there, right? And then obviously price started to push down right in here, right? Price started to push down, right? But over here, it's just more of a consolidation. I mean, we can say that, you know, price is in a bit of a uptrend, right? We can say that based on this play right here. We have an impulse correction, impulse correction, impulse correction, and looking for the continuation to the upside, right? Looking for this to go up to the upside, right? But I mean, we really and truly have to wait and see what price wants to do going into next week, because near the end of the week, last week, price just basically consolidated like crazy, just right in here. Just consolidated like crazy. Let's actually dive down and look at the trades that I took and what I was looking at. This was actually last week, Friday, so the 20th, so the Friday before last, right? I had taken this buy setup here. This was a pretty easy setup here. All we had simply was structure that was broken. We had structure to the downside, right? We see that price formed a level of resistance right here. It broke, came back up to retest, and then moved down, and then it started to move back up, right? We have this break right here, retest, and pushed up. But as you can see, my TP wasn't hit, right? Let me actually go down to the 15-minute time frame here. Here we are on the 15-minute time frame. Now, this was taken at 10:45 Eastern Standard Time in the night, and I had actually left my trade running. I went to sleep. I was looking for a TP to be hit just above this zone right here, these highs. When it came all the way down, almost stopped me out, almost smacked my stop loss, and then finally got that push pre-New York right up top here. I had a 2.2 risk to reward. I was only risking 0.25%. But looking back at the trade or the setup, what I saw really and truly now, what price did was, rather than actually retesting this zone right here, price actually came back to retest here, right? This essential resistance, right? It just came a little further down to retest that resistance, and then it shot up. So essentially this was a real move, okay? So I think I may have just misjudged that, which is totally fine. I mean, thankfully I was still in this place, so that was totally okay, right? So that was a winning trade there. Let's move over to the left. This trade here, I had dropped this trade on my Instagram in regards to where it had stopped me out. This one, looking back, I'm like, why did I take this trade looking back? And I think mainly because, let me bump up to the 1 hour. And I think I took this trade mainly because, and I had it journal in Edge Wonk, was this little minor structure here. Oops. That minor structure here, okay? So I see price essentially did this here, okay? Obviously we have resistance, price came back down, broke, and it kind of hovered in the area, came up, and I said, great. I saw this bullish candle, I said, great, price is gonna continue up, because it obviously came back down just to retest some lows over here, and it broke above, and now we're looking to push up. So I did take that buy entry based on that there. However, price wanted to actually come down to retest this 4-hour zone, which it did. And as you can see, it stopped me out. Like it wicked me out. Maybe, what is this, 2 pips, 3 pips? 3 pips. When I saw that, yo, moves like this hurt my soul. Because as we can see, once it tapped me out, price just shot all the way up to take profit. It shot all the way up to take profit. Moves like this hurt my soul. Oh my gosh. But it was a great learning lesson in that being even more patient, right? And maybe using a slightly wider stop loss. But I think the biggest takeaway here is to be a bit more patient, right? Because price actually came down to retest this 4-hour zone. And looking at my entry, I mean, it's during Asian session, you know. What I also have to remember as well, GJ, I realized, likes to retest before London Open the Asian lows, right? So I have to keep that in mind, right? So, or at least not necessarily retest the Asian lows, but it likes to retest, you know, the lows of the previous day before making that move, which is typically before London. But again, great learning lesson here. I took that down and I said, you know what? All right, great. Be even more patient. I think this is the biggest takeaway from this month of trading, is just to be even more patient, right? This setup here, I had this bar pattern. Let me just move up to the 1 hour. I had this bar pattern. Let me just hide this for a bit here. Boom. I had this bar pattern. I had it actually in the Discord. I had said, ideally looking for a pullback of to 161 zone for buy positions up to my red zone of 161.8, right? I had that play. And I had this bars pattern. It was mapped out pretty much around here. It was mapped out, right? This was late New York, yeah, 2 p.m. So price came to my red zone. I'm like, perfect, great. And then it started to retrace down, okay? Now, it actually broke through 161 and came down to retest this resistance level here, which is now support. So I said, okay, great. This was at 7. I said, okay, great. So I'm at work, okay? I'm at my part-time gig. I got the alert on this right here. So I looked at my phone. I'm like, great. So this is going to be a perfect setup for when I get home. I can enter the trade. Price came down, and it gave me, actually, I took this trade based on the 1 hour. It gave me this move right here, this candlestick pattern. 2 dojis, I read it as 2 tweezers, right? It gave me tweezers, and I said, great, this is a great signal to enter for the buy. So moved down to my 15-minute, and I took the buy off of this engulfing candle, right? And then price did this, price shot up, right? So at this point, I am in bed, okay? And just letting price do its thing. I have no idea what's happening, right? Price shot up, about 24 pips into profit, and then price did this. Price stopped me out. Price stopped me out. And then when I actually went up to the higher time frame, especially the 4-hour time frame, saw this big bearish engulfing, but really and truly, there was a break. And for some reason or the other, like it didn't click, right? There was a break of this 4-hour zone right here. Price came down to retest to move further down, right? So that's all price did. But at the time, I wasn't reading it as such, right? So those are the trades that I took that I wanted to share on GJ. Lastly, on GU. GU was a beautiful textbook setup. It was one of my A+ setups, and it played out beautifully, right? As we can clearly see, we are on this uptrend, okay? Clear as day uptrend, all right? Okay, and so obviously I was looking for buys. This was taken on Thursday. Very easy setup, okay? Price created resistance right here, broke through. Now all you have to do simply was, and I remember from GJ, because they move similarly, GU and GJ, I just remember to wait for price to retest here. Now I missed the retest, and actually retest twice. I missed both these plays, and what I then did was to simply draw this zone right here, okay? Recognizing that this is a level of resistance, previously support to the left, right? Now, we had this bearish move down, right? We had an impulsive move, correction, and then a continuation down, okay? So we had that move there, okay? Now, with this bearish move, we have this bearish trend line. We have this level of resistance. So I simply just waited for the break of the trend line, okay? And then price came back down, retest the trend line, retest this area of resistance, now turned support, took entry, and then I just rolled it up. Right, wrote it up to this resistance here, and this is a nice 2-to-1 risk to reward. So I ended the week pretty nicely on GU with that trade right there, right? But I mean, all in all, I'm looking back at the trades that I've taken thus far, and a lot of them are recognizing that I'm not being patient enough. And I think that's my biggest issue. I'm not being patient enough. So moving forward, I'm going to be sitting on my hands a lot more. I think for me, if I feel like the slightest inclination of doubt with a trade setup, I'm not going to take it. I need to have 100% confidence and confirmation in myself and in my trade setups to actually click the buy or sell button, right? You know, I need to make sure that everything lines up. Simple as that. I hope everyone can take away, you know, a couple lessons from these setups here that I've won and lost at. More importantly, the ones that I lost at. And I think the biggest takeaway here, especially for me and hopefully for you as well, is to be more patient. You know, triple check your setups, triple check your charts, and push that buy or sell button once and let it do its thing, right? Yo, if you stuck around this long, do your boy a favor and smash the like button. Hit subscribe. Subscribe only if you want to, of course, right? And leave your boy a comment down below. Let me know how I'm doing, right? Give me some feedback. But yo, I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. And without any further ado, your boy's out. And as I always say, speak truth and speak life. Yeah.